Hey y'all, it's Chelsea with Rose and Rose, and today I am going to show you how to line your basic stitch bikini. So many people feel comfortable not lining their basic stitch bikini. I've worn mine a lot and I've never had a nip slip or a hoo-ha incident or anything of that nature. But I also understand that with different types of yarn, maybe your tension was slightly off, or you just feel more comfortable with lining, I got you, girl. So you're going to need your basic stitch bikini that you have hopefully made already. And if you haven't, go to Ravelry or my Etsy site and download the pattern. So you need your bikini, and you're going to need some bikini lining fabric. This particular fabric is a polyester spandex blend. I got it from Joann's. It was relatively cheap. I have entirely much more than I need, but that's okay. I might be making a couple in red. So you just wanted to have some really good stretch. This was in the athletic apparel section, I think. Or you can go on to Etsy or Amazon and there's lots of different fabrics. I was really impressed by a company called Made Whimsy. She has beautiful colors. I feel like this is still even just a little brighter in person. But Made Whimsy, I'm gonna link all of these. And her material is a nylon spandex blend with SPF 50 on it. And it is a bikini fabric. So this one's even a little silkier than my Joann's. So you're gonna need those two things, the most important. Then you're also going to need some thread and a sewing needle in the color of your lining and bikini bottoms. You don't have to have, like, if you want to do some fun contrasting colors, feel free. Just showing you one option for how to line. You're also going to need some pins for pinning your fabric onto your bikini. And last but not least, some shears or scissors. So when we line, I don't like hand sewing very much. I'm not very good at it. I feel like it takes a long time. I don't even like weaving in my ends whenever I'm knitting and crocheting. But not everyone has access to a sewing machine. I do, I'm very fortunate, but if you don't think that means you can't line your bikini bottom. We are going to hand stitch our lining into our bikinis. And it looks kind of nice and neat, just like this. We can also do the cups if you are worried about some nip slips. I got some cup action coming for you. So grab your material, grab your bikini bottoms, and I'll see you over there on the table. Hey guys. So we are back here on the table, and I do apologize if you can hear my dryer in the background, but we're gonna work with it. To line your basic stitch bikini, as I've mentioned, you're going to need some string in the same color as your suit and liner, a sewing needle. We're gonna actually put those off to the side right now because we're not gonna use them for a hot second. You're gonna need some pins. These do not have to match your bikini, but mine do today. And you're going to need your bikini lining fabric and your basic stitch bikini. So what we're going to do is put wrong sides facing each other. So take a look at your bikini fabric, and whenever you find the wrong side, if there is one, you're going to put it face up. Then you're going to take your basic stitch bikini, and it's going to be staring at you with the right side facing, and you're putting the wrong side touching the bikini fabric. Now you want to get it, so you don't waste material, as close as you can to the sides. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start pinning these together so that it doesn't slip whenever we cut it. So I'll meet you guys back here once everything is pinned together. Okay guys, here we are. The bikini is pinned down to the fabric. We're gonna take our fabric shears and we are gonna cut the outline of the bikini. Now we're cutting along the outside, which we will not be sewing this to the inside here. This is gonna be our little bit of extra fabric to give it a nice smooth look on the inside, because we'll be folding it under. So once you have your bikini pinned, we're just gonna cut along the edge. It does not have to be perfect. Don't worry if it's making little jagged lines. Totally cool. All right, so yeah, it's a little messy on the one side, but that's a-okay. We're gonna flip it over and we have the basic outline lining for our bikini. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to start taking these pins out and we're gonna measure or just kind of follow along the line and we're gonna start pinning right around here. Again, this does not have to be perfect. We're just gonna pin as we go. I'll show you one up here. So like we would pin maybe a little extra, there we go, right like this. This is gonna give our bikini a nice smooth kind of appearance on this side and we're gonna sew through it. So go ahead and take your pins out on the one side or you can pin first and then remove them, which is what I might do. So go ahead and start folding and pinning along this side. All right, y'all. So now that you're here at this point with me, and it's okay, like a couple of these I'm probably gonna like be fixing as I go along. You just wanna make sure that you've pinned it to the point where if you turn it over, you're not seeing the lining through any of these. So like right here, I'm gonna fix these two. This looks pretty good along the sides. And I mean, obviously the point of having this is so that like, if you have a stretch, the fabric peeks through, but I don't really want them for like some of the holes here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at my bikini bottom and see if there's anything I wanna retouch. And honestly, to me, it just looks like that one little spot. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix that and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I have my lining pinned how I feel comfortable with it. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to start sewing my bikini liner to my bottoms. So let me show you what that's going to look like as soon as I get this string ready. Start with that. So go ahead and thread your needle, and I'll show you in a second. So wherever I decide that I'm going to start, we don't want to push the needle all the way through the bikini. Instead, we just want to be picking up some of these fibers along the inside. So I'm going to start here. You can obviously do this on a sewing machine, and I do have a sewing machine, but I know that that's not accessible for everyone. So I'm just going to show you how I would do it by hand. My first stitch, I like to make like a couple, and I'll get that little knot out of there later, but just to kind of anchor it down. Okay. And now you're just going to go along through, and you're going to sew the lining up. So I'll meet you whenever we're about finished. Okay, y'all, so I have now sewn all around my bikini. I have the lining attached, and you can tell like some of the places aren't perfect, but as I mentioned before, I don't love hand sewing. And also, you know, this is on the inside, it's not quite showing. I don't think I did too bad of a job, to be honest, but I'm sure there are people out there, some of you, that are much better at hand sewing than I am, but this gets the job done. So I'm just finishing up my last corner. Some of my stitches got real big because I was like, man, I forgot how long this takes to do. So once you're done, you can go around, and I had to reload my thread a few times. I'm not a great judge of how much I need for sewing, but also like my bikini bottom is a size large, so it would have been a very, very long string for me to keep pulling up. So I had a couple places where I just kind of reinforced the edge, which is nice. I can't really see too much of it, by going in the same hole a few times. And now I'm doing that same thing here. And when I finish, just kind of like how you weave in an end, I've just been taking my sewing and kind of going through it a little bit. So the needle through both the fabric and the bikini bottom. And if you're wondering why this bikini bottom looks a little frayed, it's because I wear it a lot. This is the second one that I've lined, but I didn't have this one lined to begin with. I was just wearing it unlined. So I'm actually going to give it a little trim, make it look a little better. Here we go. All right, so here we go. We have a fully lined bikini bottom. And now you can wear this without fear of having your hoo-ha or your bootay showing through. Even though I feel like it doesn't show through too much, it is still nice to have it lined. So you can see fully lined. If we stretch this out, all you're going to see on the inside is the bikini lining. Whew, we did the bottom, guys. Get excited. Now, to do the top, it's the same thing. You're going to take your fabric. Let's do this piece here. Take your fabric, and you want the wrong sides facing. So this is my wrong side. And you take your cups, and we're just going to do the same thing. We are going to put right sides up, wrong sides facing. Oh, please don't look at how dirty that is. I just wore this to the beach and it needs a wash. But we are going to flatten it out. I know the cups have kind of like an arch to them, so flatten them out as much as possible. We're going to pin, we're going to cut, and we're just going to do the same thing. So I'll meet you guys back here once everything is pinned and cut. All right, guys. So the same thing as last time, we're going to take out the pins, or you can pin and take them out as you go, and we are going to fold. Now, for me, I'm probably going to go ahead and cut actually a little more. I don't want this whole cup lined. I think I really only want maybe about here to here. It's up to you, like where we put in our first chain, so our foundation chain, to determine kind of where your nipple is going to be about in there. So your nipple generally is right about in here based on your chain length. That's probably the most that you want covered. Or if you want full coverage, it's totally up to you. I am going to kind of keep mine a little bit smaller. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give it a little more of a cut so that I don't have to fold too much under whenever I pin. Okay guys, so now we're going to do the same thing. I've cut the cups out to about the size. I'm going to go ahead and fold and pin along my sides until I feel like it's fairly good coverage, and then I'll start sewing. So I'll meet you back here once I have folded. Okay guys, so I am back and I have my tops pinned in. Now I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to sew around all the corners. You can see, again, it's not quite perfect, but it's going to work out great for my tops. They're still going to stretch and give me the coverage that I want on the inside. So I'll meet you back here once my cups are sewn in. All right, guys, so the cups are sewn. It's all goofed up here, but you can see I have my cups sewn in. I have my bottom sewn. Everything's trimmed off. My cups, there's enough give on the inside so that my breasts will still fit inside of it. And voila, we have a fully lined bikini. I also wanted to show you my red one. I have that as well. This one, I did pull it a little too tight, so you can see there is a tiny gap. Luckily, my boobies aren't that big, so I'm still okay. But make sure when you are sewing that you have this, you're pushing in so that your fabric is still neck and neck with the bikini material, so that you don't have a gap in there that your boobies can't fit into. But yeah, I hope this tutorial helped you. I hope you enjoyed lining your bikini. Feel free to use a sewing machine. Like I said, I'm not much of a hand sewer, but this turned out really friggin' well. So if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to ask. You can DM me on Instagram, Rose and Rose. You can send me an email at roseandroseetsyshop@gmail.com. Yeah, I would love, love, love to see your bikinis. Tag me with the hashtag Basic Stitch Bikini and my Instagram handle, Rose and Rose. Thanks, guys. I had so much fun. I'm going to go pour a cocktail. See y'all later.